Hey everyone, don't be weirded out. I know you're not used to hearing my voice fresh off the main episode, but it's a special new episode because Noise Boys are in full effect. Mike D is away. That means that Greg and Andy are here to play. 2/3 of FIC is here, and some say the hairiest. 2/3.
Definitely the hairiest. Definitely the hairiest.
If it's anything we can hang our hats on, we are the fuzziest of FIC. We put the F in fuzzy and FIC.
So true. And we also put the toilet flush noises in FIC.
Have you ever dropped a firework down a toilet and flushed it?
No, I've never done that.
That is a huge, rascal thing to do in media, in movies and TV. I've never known anyone that has done it or actually done it myself.
No, because it seems foolish on many levels. Like when you commit a prank, you never want the prank to come back onto you.
Folks, listen up. This is pranking 101. This is what you learn in Trickster University.
That's right. If you're blowing up a toilet, you might need to use that toilet someday.
Right.
And you're ruining that toilet for your own use.
So Trickster lesson number 1, don't shit where you eat. Blow up someone else's toilet.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
If you're going to experiment with plumbing explosions in different capacities, I suppose, don't do it at home. Do it at your worst enemy's house.
Do it. Find a Johnny on the spot.
A Johnny on the spot famously has no plumbing. It's just a hole.
Well, you got to start somewhere,
Flush a Johnny on the spot. Okay, folks. Confession time.
We're already off the rails.
Andy flunked out of Trickster University and had to go to Pranking Community College.
Well, it's only because my scholarship in clowning didn't pan out,
Yeah, clowning tech.
That's right.
Well, not only are tricksters fueled by a notoriously whimsical spirit and an infinite amount of fireworks, they're also fueled by Space Camper IPA, beautifully brewed from Boulevard Brewing Company. Yum, yum, give me some down in my tum-tum. Space Camper IPA, it's not a beer, it's a journey. Many varietals of flavors to send you into an otherworldly dimension of taste. From extremely hoppy to non-alcoholic with their zero gravity Space Camper line. Anyone can find a favorite Space Camper flavor in their long line of beers. So give it a try your next time you go out to your favorite bar or local prankster meetup and get yourself a Space Camper IPA. I am positive you will find a taste that suits your trickster nature.
And on top of that, speaking of Boulevard, coming next month, come and see us in person in Meat Space at Boulevard at TowerCon. We're going to be wheeling. We're going to be dealing. We're going to be recording. We're going to be handing out freebies.
Are we going to be wheeling and dealing?
I mean, aren't we always?
We are always wheeling. We do say that. Always be wheeling and always be dealing.
Well, yeah, I mean, hashtag always be plugging, like there's one thing we do. It's plug this show.
Yeah.
We'll be wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. So TowerCon is back. We are very excited to be back doing that with our buddies at Best Car Books. And to top it all off, it is hosted in one of our favorite places to be, the Boulevard Beer Hall, where we have had many great times that we don't quite remember. We're excited to add TowerCon to that list of things. Also happening in the Kansas City area, October 29th at the Crossroads Comic Book store, where they're hosting a special Godzilla Destroys Kansas City event. Buster Moody's going to be there. Kyle Strom's going to be there. A bunch of the creators are going to be there. It's your chance to, if you're in the Kansas City area, come down and meet the creators. Get a book that is specifically Kansas City based, which is very, very fun. So fun, in fact, I actually had a custom-made T-shirt made so that when I go, I can make all the creators go, "Ooh, isn't he so cool?" When in fact, I am a huge nerd, and I have a very specific plug to make custom T-shirts. So who knows? Maybe they'll want one. Maybe I can get them one, and then maybe I'll be in Godzilla Destroys Kansas City issue number 2.
Perfect.
So hopefully we'll see you all down there because it sounds like a ton of fun. Anyway.
Excellent work, both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've done all the sales pitches, that's just the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
Just do sales pitches.
Quickest First Issue Club episode ever. Got it under 6. So we'll have a bunch of lips in space for next week's episode. We can go extra long on that one.
No, we would never.
We would never.
Comic book news.
Specifically, we wouldn't on this episode because it's NYCC, baby. It is the place to be right now is the Big Apple. And the second place to be is this show where we talk about what happened on Thursday. Historically, the hottest night of the con. Everything gets announced on Thursday afternoon and evening.
Hey, Thursday is not Creator Day. What is it? Retailer Day, right?
Thursday's the new Friday.
I think that's the day to go. Like there was so much stuff announced. There were I saw so many creators there. It just, man, someday we're gonna get to NYCC and no one's gonna know who we are.
I think next year we go.
Mm-hmm.
We just go.
We just go.
Bite the bullet.
Just get in the car and we just go.
Our buddy Chris Hacker and Botter Mulligan are already up there. They're doing their thing, living the high life. I bet we could hide in their luggage. They'll be fine.
There's an idea. Yeah.
They can go be professionals, and we'll just eat slices of pizza and drink coffee.
Yeah. And we'll say all the New York stuff.
Forget about it.
Perfect. We're fitting in already.
So, official, right here, 2026. We're going to be at NYCC. Look for the 2 Midwestern guys acting like they're New Yorkers.
And then Mike D, 50 feet behind us, pretending not to know us.
With the leash, being like, boys, settle.
The big news that I saw was that the Ultimate Universe is officially ending
now,
March 2026.
We're used to things coming to an end, but not like we get like a wink towards camera, just like, oh, it's gone. Wink. But you're saying this is Stone Cold Uncle Ben gone.
Yeah. The article that I read from, realtruthnews.comicbook said that part of Hickman's agreement with Marvel to come and do the Ultimate Universe was that it would end when his story was told.
When he said so.
Everything was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got 2 years, 3 years out of it, something like that, and rolling it up.
That's longer than some people's marriages.
That's true. That is longer than some people's marriages. Luckily, I convinced you not to actually get married to your Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I know you wanted to, but you were already married at the time. You
convinced me, and then I found out later, not actually legal.
Right. It's comic book bigamy is illegal in Missouri. So
only in certain providences can I actually get married to a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's right. You got to go up to Utah for that kind of funny business. So Ultimate Universe ending. What did you have? You had something. So
I before we get to that, I do have some questions for you. How are you feeling? What's the vibe check there for it ending? You doing okay?
I mean, it is a disappointment, I think. It seems like obviously it's very successful for Marvel. Right. They've launched a ton of these books. Feels like there's still a lot of meat on those bones, especially with stuff like Ultimate X-Men, feels like there's a bazillion stories to tell. But it also it makes me wonder if we're not going to get something like this every couple of years out of Marvel. You know, some new creator comes in and figures out a reason to like spin up another universe, and they just kind of take it and run with it and do another, whether it's Ultimate or whatever they call it. And Marvel just kind of has this rotating slot of, you know, like 3 to 5 year chunks of like alternate reality stuff.
I think by now the big two know alternate reality equals money. It's a way for them to explore their characters in a way that doesn't really affect their sliding timeline. So they get to have things like Absolute Batman or, you know, Ultimate X-Men, like Peach Momoko's. This is like kind of like wild interpretations. And I think, and I will speak for myself as a fan of those franchises, it is a bit of a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, we get the history and I get the knowledge of like knowing mainline X-Men, but when we get like kind of these little twists and turns, it's just like, oh, like, yeah, that's kind of a fun interpretation, or like a neat what if of like, had these things turned in little different ways, here's how those universes would have turned out. And really what these are is just like thought experiments of just like, hey, you know, we always talk about this around the lunch table. Explore it. See what happens. What do we got? And I would say 8 times out of 10, absolute heaters.
Yeah, I mean, look at Spider-Verse. That's basically all it was, is all those different lunch table ideas smushed all together, right?
Yeah.
And it worked. Like,
I'm okay with it ending because, I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man in the early 2000s went past 100 issues. That's too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is a thing of overstaying your welcome in hopes of making money. And I feel like Jonathan Hickman has the, I don't know, the duty or the the honor to be like, this is my thing I created. It is done now. It has done the thing that I want it to. I don't want it to spill out and to turn into something grotesque. So, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, to your point, the Ultimate line in the 2000s, like, do we need another reboot of like Ultimate Fantastic Four? Do we need a reboot of Ultimate, you know, whatever it was, Sinister Six? Like,
no,
that universe got so bloated towards the end of it that it almost needed to die and come back to like remember what it was. Like, what's the point of this thing at this point, right?
It's like when a campfire gets out of control and becomes a forest fire. It all seemed like a good idea in the beginning, and then someone put gasoline on the fire and it got out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like Jonathan Hickman is one of those firemen that jump out of the airplane and just kind of like hacks away at it with an axe to keep it controlled. And I respect that, honestly. So I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm probably going to feel a lot differently when the Absolute stuff comes to an end, because that has been so good and so like groundbreaking for DC that it's going to be tough to see how that stuff ends up.
I can see DC beating that dead horse until it comes back as a zombie. And then they beat it some more. They're going to get every ounce of blood out of that goddamn horse.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about this when we get to DCKO, because obviously we read that's the big book of the week. But, you know, once DCKO is over, the All-In initiative was Scott Snyder's baby boy. Like, that was his whole idea. This Absolute Universe was like the key to that whole thing. So once this All-In initiative goes, you know, the way that it's supposed to, you know, DC's next decision, I guess, is to either end it or continue it with a new creative team, and that's going to be the breaking point.
Right.
Like, are you going to go the way that Ultimate Marvel did and become this beast where you just have two completely different universes with varying levels of quality as time goes on, or do you just, end it while, get out while the getting's good?
That is interesting because, I mean, and maybe we can explore that more when we get DCKO, but it's just like, it is a quality control thing. And that's why Jonathan Hickman made the decision that he wanted to now. Just like, listen, either I'm done with the story or this has come to its natural conclusion. And I don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't want my legacy to be tarnished with this fun thing that we did. Which is why he had it in his contract in black and white to say, when I say it's done, it is done.
Yep, for sure.
Moving on with NYCC news, we kind of were wondering what was happening with Vertigo a couple episodes ago. They had promised a lot of things for 2025. We really haven't seen anything come out in 2025. And so, we were kind of scratching our heads. It's just like, well, did they kind of fumble the handoff here, or are we expecting some big things towards the end of the year? And we have our answer. And it turns out that they've been trying to kick the can down the line to 2026 is when they're actually going to officially start getting these books out to readers like you and I. And they have given us the first 10 or 11 series that they're going to be showcasing. Would you like to hear them?
I would. I haven't seen this list, so these reactions are true and real.
Well, Andy, I'm thankful that you're sitting down because there are some absolute bombs in here that you are not prepared for.
My first question, I'm trying to temper my expectations with this question. How many of those 11 are Sandman universe books?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. All right.
And I think we know why.
We think we know why.
I think we know why. Which is good because as great and fanatical that the Sandman universe is, I'm ready to put that to bed. It had its moment in time. We all put our black eyeliner away, put up our typo negative CDs, and we are done.
Yeah, we're past it. All right, what's the list?
Okay, first up, one that we kind of knew was coming. The Nice House by the Sea is going to be continuing on Vertigo, started in February with number 7. It's the second cycle of James Tynion's horror epic, along with Alvaro Martinez Bueno and Jordi Belair. And it's kind of continuing the story that was told in the first arc of Nice House by the Sea. I'm excited for that. I've loved that series, Nice House by the Lake and Nice House by the Sea. So it's fun to see that they're continuing out on Vertigo. And honestly, a great flagship to have on Vertigo, kind of like a nice, strong pillar to kind of keep this whole thing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bleeding Hearts by Dennis Camp, Stephen Moran, and Matt Hogsworth. A zombie named Poke discovers his heart beating again, threatening his place in a society where death reigns supreme. So kind of a flip on the zombie trope of a zombie realizes that he has come back to life. Dennis Camp is an amazing writer, so that's just going to be a fun thing to explore with them. So I'm on board.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And I will say...
That sounds like such a Vertigo book.
Oh my God. Okay, when I read through these lists, you'll be like, oh, there's a reason this is on. Like, these are all... like new age sad kid books, and like flannel's back. As you can see, I'm wearing my flannel. Like we are back in our alternative age, my friends.
Hell yeah.
Next up, End of Life by Kyle Starks, Steve Pugh, and Chris O'Halloran. A top-tier hitman returns to his Midwestern hometown to care for his dying father and confront his own mortality.
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that sad boy book.
Yeah. Kyle Starks, I saw on Twitter, was very excited to talk about this book. It's kind of like his take on John Wick and like what would happen if he went back home to his Midwestern roots. So Kyle Starks is like, you and I love Kyle Starks. We've had him on the show a couple times. An amazing creator, a double threat with art and writing, but this time looks like he's just writing it. So, I mean, this is a for sure pickup for just the Kyle Starks name alone.
That's awesome.
Next is The Peril of the Brutal Dark, an Inzar Kane mystery by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. Do I need to go on?
Oh, no. That's put it in my basket.
A noir detective tale that collides with magic, fascism, and the stolen artifact of imaginable power. I mean, come on.
You separate the creative team from the elevator pitch, and I'll buy both. Right? Like,
yeah. You have two books right there. I don't know if you know that. You have two books.
Exactly. Oh, Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips are writing a book. Yep, put it in the basket.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Nazis and noir and an artifact. Yep,
magic.
Put that one in the basket
Cool.
too.
Yes. Next up is 100 Bullets, The U.S. of Anger. Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso is back on the original 100 Bullets train. Lono returns to America and reignites chaos, taking the nation's darkest impulses to their violent extremes.
What a great book to bring back. Like, considering the climate we live in.
I'm tired of living in unprecedented times.
I know, but what a title to bring back. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is like, if you haven't read the original 100 Bullets, go find it. It's at any library, half-price book, LCS.
Yeah.
It's at this point kind of required reading if you want to get into the indie sphere. It is intrigue, espionage, high-paced, big concept, briefcase full of bullets. It's like it took a hold of the community when it first came out. And it's very exciting to see this come back to shelves.
Yeah, the original pitch for the book, if I'm remembering correctly, is a guy gets offered an untraceable gun with 100 untraceable bullets.
Yep,
and just like
do
whatever you want with it, right? Yeah.
So
man,
again,
that's gonna kick ass. That's gonna kick ass.
An unprecedented book for unprecedented times. This one's going to make Fox News.
Oh, God, yes.
Next, we have Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy by Ram V and Mike Perkins, two people that we absolutely adore. This is about wizard spies in the UK navigate a global Cold War over sorcery, revealing a hidden world of occult power.
Yep.
So yes,
again, you separate the creative team from the title, and you got two sales.
Yes, I'm tired of popping out of the Hot Topic to tell you that I want this book. I'm trying to buy my Nightmare Before Christmas T-shirt
and my cat ears.
Necrotaurus, sit down for this one. Necrotaurus by Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson's scientists attempt to time travel to stop a zombie virus only to land 66 million years in the past among dinosaurs. Zombie dinosaurs.
Yes, please.
This should breed 100 issues, a television series, 6 movies, popular hit single, a shoe line. It should redirect. It should resurrect Pogs.
Man, and for it's one thing to have a goofy premise like how can we make a zombie dinosaur comic book? That's one thing. I would buy that first issue for the bit.
Just like, on curiosity alone.
But the fact that you put Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson on that book, like is the zombie dinosaur book going to be good? Why does it deserve to be good?
That's a full faith purchase, by the way. With those two attached, you're just like, oh shit, hold on, this is going to be good, actually. Like this is actually going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
I don't think people are ready for it. I think when you hear zombie dinosaurs, people are going to go, okay, well, whatever. Folks, look at the man behind the curtain here and realize that you're in for a ride that I don't think you're ready for.
Yeah, Tom Taylor wrote an entire book about MacGuffins.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read Seven Secrets?
Yes. It's fantastic.
It's an entire book.
The book should have been called MacGuffins. MacGuffins Incorporated.
What's in the briefcase? The comic.
Is it weird that platypuses aren't called MacGuffins? I mean, it's kind of like
only we could go back
the
in
world's
time.
MacGuffin. Just like, what is it? Well, we don't really know. You know?
I'm not quite sure. You know?
Where was it? Oh, okay. We got 3 more. This one's called Fanatic by Grace Ellis and Hannah Templer. A woman's obsession with a comic book spirals into a deadly parasocial fixation on its creator. Kind of cool.
Awesome. That sounds very like not Miyazaki. It sounds very like Uzumaki.
Mm-hmm. It's like when I just kept texting Donnie Cates, "Where you at? What are you doing?" What would Vin be thinking right now?
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. The Crying Doll by Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valero O'Connell, a Jekyll and Hyde thriller about just how far a young woman would go to protect her best friend, who may or may not be a killer.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I mean, Mariko Tamaki
is if that
incredible writer.
If that name didn't make your debit card jump out of your wallet,
yeah,
you might be broke.
Yeah.
So that I actually haven't read Mariko Tamaki book in a while. I don't know.
Well, they've probably been working on this Vertigo book.
You know what? Zing, got me. And then the last one, Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Not that we edit. A Walking Shadow by Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell. 8 strangers wake up chained to a boat in the woods. No memory, no escape, no explanation.
Yep. Totally.
Yes.
God. Killing it.
I will take that any day of the week. And of course, the site I'm looking at, which is the Popverse, they have all the covers up here for these books. And it is very nostalgic to look at books that have the Vertigo logo. And you're just like, oh man, I don't know why Vertigo always feels like autumn to me, but it just seems like they're printed on dead leaves. And it's just like, there's somehow
because they're like sad boy vibes.
It's very morose. And your favorite movie is The Crow.
Yeah, because the guy reading Transmetropolitan super was like that guy in high school, for sure.
Yeah, so this is all kind of just incredible. I'm so happy to see Vertigo back with some pretty heavy hitters creator-wise lined up. I mean, we already have, confirmation of a sequel series to 100 Bullets, so that's going to get a lot of people's interests. And I think there's actually some real sleeper books in here that are going to cause people to really discover indie books in a way that they never have before.
Yeah, as if we weren't already living in the golden age of indie comics.
I mean, truly. I mean, and people say that haphazardly, but I mean, I don't think anyone really realizes how prevalent and maybe accessible indie books are now.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we can name like 4 indie publishers that have more than 2 books on the shelves every month. Mm-hmm. Pretty incredible.
Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. Again, DC Vertigo is back in full effect in 2026. I think the first one drops in February. So gives us time to get through the holiday season without having to spend a ton of money, and something to get through the cold months.
And hey, if any of those books sound interesting to you, make sure you keep your dials tuned to First Issue Club.
Because the Noise Boys will tell you
all of them.
When to get some.
Right. That's right.
The Noise Boys also add S's to words that shouldn't have S's.
Sometimes as we do's.
It's just funs and games.
What other? Do we have any other news?
Did we mention
NYCC?
the Swamp Thing?
Oh, gotta. I'm kind of surprised that's not a Vertigo book. But anyway, Rick Veitch is finally getting the last 4 issues of his Swamp Thing saga released for the world.
Allegedly, this is the issues that Swamp Thing meets Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. It's
seriously
controversial timeline stuff. That's why these never got released back in the 80s.
Yeah. Wait, are you doing a bit? I'm serious because I don't know anything about them.
No, here we go. Swamp Thing's comic book series in which the titular character of the series went back in time and met Jesus Christ. Controversial at time of creation, DC management of the period pulled the story entirely, with Veitch leaving the series entirely as a result of the decision. So he wrote this series where he goes back in time, meets Jesus. DC said, no fucking way. And then he said, okay, deuces, and then left.
That fucking rips.
Mm-hmm.
What a badass.
Yeah.
I hope DC is just like shoveling money at that guy now. Like, I hope he had the ability to be like, no, you can't release this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I hope DC didn't just like dig up those issues out of storage and are now like farting them out.
No. This is getting the full treatment, as it should. It looks like here that it will be a part of the DC Vertigo expansion.
Oh, nice. Okay, that tracks. I do like too that they're keeping the legacy numbering. That it's like issue
88 through 91.
88 through 91. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty big news for certain people in our Discord.
Yeah,
and
our buddy 10K, resident Swamphead,
and fans of 90s comic books. That's going to be cool. We're going to cover that too on podcast for sure.
Yeah, I guarantee, since it's been written and being re-released, going to be better than Hush 2.
I'm not going to try and argue with it because I think it'll be more interesting than Hush 2. Hey, hold on.
Huh?
First appearance, Jesus, DC continuity?
Surely not.
Slab it.
God, if I could ever get a slab that says first appearance of Jesus Christ, I think I would do it. Do you think the CGC would have the special paper banner that's just like stigmata, or there's nothing in the slab, and then 3 days later there's something there?
There's something in this.
My God, the slab's been moved away, and my comic book has risen. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe Swampy convinces Jesus to go to the green with him.
Dude, what if Jesus is an avatar of the red?
Holy shit. What if Jesus is Booster Gold?
Okay, now you've sold me.
We find out that Jesus's mind has been put into Detective Chimp, and that's why he's so surly.
Jesus is Vandal Savage.
You know, my dad was a carpenter.
Oh boy. Okay.
And here's something that we've talked about, and then it's finally getting kind of some news cycle stuff, because I think it's just like the date is approaching, and so this is gonna be like some real buzzworthy headlines that we're gonna be seeing for the next few years. It's happened with Mickey Mouse. It's happened with Winnie the Pooh, and in 9 years ish, it will be happening to Superman. He'll be entering the public domain. But don't worry, folks. DC claims They have it all under control.
What's the deal? Does it go into any specifics?
So for those who aren't aware, Superman as a character falls into the public domain on January 1st, 2034. But it's only the version of the character as published in Action Comics #1 back in 1938. Current U.S. copyright law drops work into the public domain 95 years after initial publication, meaning that both Superman and Clark Kent, not to mention Lois Lane, will enter the public domain in less than 9 years. But the Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen, Lex Luthor, or even a Superman that flies will still be copyrighted.
Right.
They all first appeared in 1940, with the exception of Superman's flight, which showed up a year later. Nonetheless, a Superman will be public domain in 2034, but speaking during an appearance at NYCC 2025 Retailers Day on October 8th, Lee didn't seem overly concerned about it happening. Speaking about problems facing DC Comics in the future, Lee said, yes, characters will fall into the public domain. It's already happening. We've all seen these unsettling knockoffs of Mickey Mouse floating around online. But here's the truth. The character isn't the magic. The storytelling is. The world building is. Owning Superman isn't the same as understanding Superman, knowing how he moves, how he speaks, what he stands for. He went on saying, anyone can draw a cape. Anyone can write a hero. That's been around as long as comics have been, and it's called fan fiction. There's nothing wrong with fan fiction. It shows how deeply these characters live inside all of us, but Superman only feels right when he's in the DC universe, our mythos. That's what endures. That's what will carry us into the next century.
That's a very company line.
God damn it, was it very corporate.
And I, that was Jim Lee, I assume. That all due respect to Jim Lee, I don't inherently disagree with what he's saying.
Sure.
But at the same time, we're going to get some really good Superman stories.
Fuck yeah, we are.
From this public domain thing. Like,
how he isn't getting absolutely flamed is beyond me.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I get why you had to do it. You have to do that, right? You have to Superman belongs to DC. That's his job.
He's a company man given a company answer.
But at the same time, fuck that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Winnie the Pooh went and Mickey Mouse went in the public domain. There was some smatterings, whatever. So the Winnie the Pooh movie showed up. I haven't really seen any Mickey Mouse stuff. When this happens in 9 years, there will inevitably be some Superman take through an indie publisher, through a webtoon, whatever. It could be fucking the Watchmen of Superman, and it won't get the heat that it would if it was on DC, mainly because DC has the money to just carpet bomb whatever the fuck is going to be released. Not to threaten it from being released, but just to overshadow it completely.
I mean, you're not wrong for sure. But that's, I guess, kind of why we, as comic book fans, need to be doing what we're doing now, not to overstate the importance of this dumb little podcast we do, but if some indie publisher is coming out with a Superman book, I think we owe it to that indie publisher to read that book and give it a chance. And if it's good, publicize that it's good. And if it's bad, publicize that it's bad.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason characters go into public domain, is so that people have the opportunity to take things that they love and create with them. Right? We wouldn't have Indiana Jones without what's his name, Doc Samson, and all those nerdy
dime store novel
action, dime store novel stuff, right? That Indiana Jones is just a fanfic of that stuff,
right?
Star Wars is just a fanfic of Akira Kurosawa. So there's a reason public domain exists,
right?
And I think we all as fans owe it to give all that stuff a chance. Even the Steamboat Willie horror movie that came out.
And to be fair, when they made this public domain thing, they were probably thinking, surely a character will not be around for 100 years. There couldn't be a more popular thing that'll be around for 100 years.
Yeah. When public domain actually came out, it was initially something like 27 years after the character's first publication. And then it was like a certain 40 years after the death of the creator.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Disney kept pushing those laws out further and further and further because they wanted to keep making money on their creations.
Right.
And now it's 97 years after first publication or whatever. But that only applies to stuff that came out before like 1970 or something anyway. So we will never get Something is Killing the Children in public domain because they're just going to keep re-upping the copyright.
We're not going to get a public domain Moana?
Nope.
Is that why they keep making shitty movies?
It's part of the reason. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Hollywood.
It's dog shit.
Ain't it fun?
Yeah. It's terrible.
So anyway, I'm kind of excited to see what happens in 9 years with some kind of kooky Superman public domain shit.
This is a good episode for Mike D to not be on because I will absolutely be the guy. Like, I will die on the hill of every like shitty public domain thing for these characters should exist because we have dealt with Disney farting out Winnie the Pooh for the last 97 years. And now it's our turn to fart out Winnie the Pooh.
Now it's my turn.
Like,
now I'm taking the steering wheel.
Yeah, Daddy's home.
And Winnie's going to go to some pretty weird places.
Exactly.
You ever seen Winnie the Pooh strung out? You're about to.
You're about to.
Well, he drives a race car.
And
co-piloted by Dale Earnhardt's ghost. It's called Pooh and Paw out on Scout.
Of course. Thank you, Scout.
Should we get into the books of the week?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it.
Do we want to do DCKO first?
We might as well.
Kind of already on the roll.
We might as well.
So we both read this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think our Discord said it best when it's big dumb comic book fun.
The big dumb for me comes from the convoluted back history of trying to like explain how we got here, and it's just like, shucks, dang it. you put too much lore into it, and now it's not as fun as like just a mix 'em up fighting game.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Scott Snyder is an incredible writer.
Oh, of course.
I really do. But this is like classic Scott Snyder, where he's like, what's a reason I can have to make DC's version of Civil War?
And to be clear, Andy and I did a specific show for death metal.
Yeah.
We are all in on Scott Snyder, just so you know, folks. Yeah. You can't find two people who are more in on Scott Snyder's tomfoolery.
Yeah, for sure.
But there is that middle part in every Scott Snyder #1 issue. You're just like, God damn it, what the fuck is all this? Is like an encyclopedia right now.
Yeah, but once you get over that hump, like once Scott has placated the Grant Morrisons of the world,
the lurkers in the chat rooms,
who need this event to fit into 100 and whatever years of DC lore, then we finally get all the good stuff. The beef that we're looking for. I did think it was really interesting how they tied the New 52 into this,
right,
and really made this event feel like
they're setting us up for a reboot.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're making ties back to the other like Crisis books from the 80s to early 2000s, and then New 52. And yeah, I think they're setting it up for another, if not hard,
they're setting this up for DC All
universe. Out. I mean, kind of like you say that, but like that absolutely crossed Jim Lee's desk at some point.
Like on a sticky note, this is like DC All Out ?
All out.
And then look, there's Scott Snyder in the doorway,
all
just
aboard?
like, can we do it?
But what if they fought each other? What if Superman had brass knuckles?
Well, they're made of suns. It's like, Scott, go out of my office, please. I'm trying to work on Hush 2.
I'm 6 months behind on the final issue of Hush 2. Oh Lord. No, I think you're absolutely correct that there is a lore dump at the beginning of this book. Is that Tedward upstairs?
So, folks, around? What you're hearing right now is my two sons going absolutely apeshit on the ceiling above my head. Some added sound effects for everyone at home that, yes, we too have lives outside the podcast, and they interrupt the show often.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so there's a lore dump. I didn't find the lore dump as egregious as death metal.
Death metal was rough.
Having to like explain that there's 6 different kinds of metal in the DC universe, and this one is like the worst one, and we gotta find that. That was like even too much. I think this one was a middle ground. I think it was fine. It was silly and goofy, but the thing that did it for me was the twist at the end, where they had. And do we want to spoil it?
I mean, yeah, folks. There's a spoiler coming. Jump ahead.
Where I guess Darkseid is Booster Gold or controlling Booster Gold.
It would seem to me that Booster Gold is somehow has been corrupted by the Omega energy, and Darkseid is like being able to manipulate and move through Booster Gold.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the book, when the timekeepers or whatever they are talking about how all the heroes have already lost, and they come up with this new plan. The twist of the book is that Darkseid knows everything that's going to happen, and knows what's happening in their little tournament that's going on. But all that dumb lore stuff aside, we got a really cool Superman learns how to cut loose book.
Yes. It's kind of like the through line of this book that, I mean, it's by no surprise, Superman doesn't like playing games where everyone can't win. You know, he's the cute grandma that has all the grandkids over and says, no, everyone wins Chutes and Ladders. When really you as a kid are just like, I don't think that works that way. Like, there has to be a loser, and it's my little brother. So we are kind of led to believe that if these heroes somehow destroy the Omega heart in the center of our universe that is, set to explode, or fucking who knows, they will have the ability to crown their own king to take on Darkseid King for the fate of our universe. And if we win, everything that has been done could essentially be reversed. Ergo, everyone wins because all of our friends are back. And that's how they really only get Superman to agree to do this in earnest. Am I right?
Yeah. And the interesting thing of this book to me was, you get this book that sets up, we're going to do this tournament. And of course, Superman is like, oh, well, I want to help my friends. And you get, even while they're in the tournament, he's like not really trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to survive so that his other friends can also survive.
Right.
And what Snyder kind of cleverly does is gets Superman to like drop that pretension or drop that piece of his morality to realize that if I actually go out, then everything I do between point A and point B doesn't really matter.
Right.
Because I can reset this so that this has never even happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a cool way to get evil Superman without getting Superman to be actually evil.
It's also kind of giving more credence to that this is a reboot, because we're going to see Superman go to his absolute limits, potentially lose his, humanity, and then get it back towards the end. This all gets tied into a bow, and then everything is reborn anew. Much like Swamp Thing meeting Jesus. So...
the other cool part about this book is that we got a crossover with the Absolute Universe kind of teed up.
So are those going to be like the champions that
to anybody
Darkseid has?
That's my bet, is that towards the end of the tournament they're going to have like another, the final four are going to be the Absolute Trinity and whoever the last person is or whatever.
Right.
Something like that. And the Absolute people will be fighting for their universe, and the last four from the regular DC universe will be fighting for their universe.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll see. We have also not had it explained how those two universes have crossed over yet. I don't think.
No, this seems
a mystery to be solved.
This book seems kind of out of place, because it's like jumping ahead from even where the Absolute verse is. Because like we just got Absolute Catwoman, and now it's just like, oh, it's potentially gonna like be disappeared away, and it's just like, wait a minute, what? Why? And even then, Scott Snyder has said like, no, the Absolute verse is gonna be around for a while. So but like, what are the stakes here?
Yeah, what are the stakes? That was kind of my thought. I mean, the stakes for the like Earth One, whatever you want to call it, the main DC universe, are kind of clear. But from what I'm remembering from that All-In special, it was like, my understanding was that Darkseid like was pulling his energy from the Absolute universe. So is he just using the Absolute universe as a battery and doesn't even really give a shit about it?
Well, I think initially, and then he has created other batteries around our universe, because that's what it's in the middle of ours, right? Is like another Omega thing that's like fueling him. So I don't know, like I feel honestly, I'm having fun. I just want to put that out front.
Yeah,
I'm having fun
for sure.
I feel lied to. Because first of all, in the fucking bracket they gave us last week, where's the Joker? Because he's here now.
Well, did you see the bracket at the end? They crossed out Batman with a little Joker smile. They duped us.
No, this isn't Prankster University. All right.
Hey, Scott Snyder, he actually graduated with honors from Prankster.
Yeah, valedictorian. Honk honk. You little clown nose.
Maybe some of the DC, the more involved DC people can explain it to us, but I feel the same way every time I read one of these big DC events. Like,
yeah,
it feels like I was just like not reading whatever book led up to the big thing, and so now I don't understand the stakes of the big thing. But
yeah, well,
at the same time, I'm gonna read this entire series because it's just so much fun.
Oh yeah, I am excited to see just like the fight books. Those are gonna be cool. But Batman being out already kind of fucks my bracket because I had him going to like the third round, and I don't know. Thank God this wasn't on DraftKings, or else I could be able to sue.
I called it, man. I knew Batman was going to be out like round 1.
Well, I think we also knew too because he has his own like mini series within this event. So I knew he wasn't going to go long because he has to fight Batman from the future, which is cool. I just wish I would have known up front. DC, I'm tired of the deceit. A little honesty between us would be better.
Dude, hey, there's the next event, Deceit.
Ooh, fuck. Copyright it.
Jim, call me.
Jim.
All right, DC.
Jim, please call me. You haven't been returning my texts. You turned off your location. I don't know where you're at.
Find an editor. The app doesn't work anymore. Final thoughts on DCKO. Are we out of juice for this? Do we move on?
Final thoughts. Get to the punching.
Sure.
That's what we're here for.
It is what we're here for.
This is going to be strung out for a while, though, right? Like a few months.
Yeah, it goes like into 2026.
Okay.
We're gonna be reading DCKO for a hot minute.
Thumbs up. I'm tired. I'm ready to be tired.
All right. What else did you read?
I read the Harley Quinn meets Elvira, Jimmy Palmiotti,
Classic.
Amanda Conner. This is my Reese's peanut butter cup. You got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. I love these franchises. I love Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner. I think Elvira is a goddess and a queer icon, and them two meeting up is a lot of fun. The only stake here is Harley Quinn a while ago had to miss the opportunity to meet Elvira at a party because she ate something that made her throw up and other stuff for the whole evening. And they cross paths in this book. And now the goal is to throw the biggest and baddest party that Brooklyn has ever seen.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that the stakes are how much fun can we have?
Mm-hmm. There is
That's
a line
nice.
in there I think you'll like. Harley Quinn shoots off a bazooka, and Elvira says, "Well, that's better than any boomstick I've ever seen."
That's pretty good.
So I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of Easter eggs. Fans of Harley Quinn and Elvira are sure to get a lot out of this. It's through Dynamite, so you know there's going to be a ton of covers. I don't know. I mean, what else do you want?
Nothing. I don't want anything.
That's like getting pissed off that you're not getting full-size candy bars for Halloween during trick-or-treating, but hey, jackass, you're getting free candy, so shut up.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth and enjoy the candy.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. You need to make sure and pick up a sketch cover of that so that you can have Jimmy and Amanda do some little sketchies on it.
That would be pretty cool. And unfortunately, Elvira doesn't tour much anymore due to illnesses. So, you know, maybe one day we'll meet in heaven. It could happen. It could happen.
You know what? It will happen.
Yeah.
How about that?
She'll definitely be there. I've got to take a few courses to get my grades up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll work on it.
I've said some pretty uncouth things about Hush 2 that would put me down to at least level 6 of hell.
Well, really, what's going to teeter you over the edge is how you react to Swamp Thing X Jesus.
Oh, you know what? Ooh, that is a real pickle I'm in. You can't be too excited and you can't be too upset. You got to really toe the line there.
You gotta treat it with the reverence it deserves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it.
What else did you read?
That was
it, right?
That's it. The two biggest ones.
I read a couple of books.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them involve aliens and are very exciting. We'll talk about Red Book first. So I read Red Book. That's the new Tinian and Oming continuation of their series Blue Book. And it kind of gives you the background of some of the high strangeness that occurred in like Cold War Russia. So you get some of the background, and in true like Blue Book fashion, it's all very like the opening of Twilight Zone, where it's kind of narration-y, you know.
Imagine
or like unsolved mysteries. It's very unsolved mysteries.
Okay.
Before you get to the meat and bones of the book, where it talks about the Dyatlov Pass incident, where some kids were found dead, you know, without their clothes in the middle of winter, and, you know, broken bones and all that weird stuff. The cool part about this book that seemingly sets it aside from the previous 2 Blue Book arcs that we've had is it seems like this is going to kind of set up stories. There's not one continuous story throughout the books. It's going to give you just kind of the explanation of the story, and then give you like the flavor of the Russian government at the time. So it's very much a Cold War book, but it's revolving around, instead of like spies and espionage,
right,
aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. So
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool twist on the Blue Book formula that I have come to know and love, but tying in like kind of the opposite end of the world. So cool book. Again, you know, if you've read Blue Book, you know that it's an insane creative team. You get the backup story. They're continuing that, where, you know, it's just a 4-page weird story from history in the back. Well worth your $4.99.
Yep.
And I'm excited to have more. I hope they continue to just keep doing these books. And just keep telling weird, like, is it true UFO stories? Because I fucking love it. I'll eat it up every time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And to that end, I also read High Strangeness by Chris Condon and Daniel Noah. And much in the same vein as Blue Book and Red Book, this is a is it true, is it false story about a newspaper reporter who goes to a town in Indiana that's experiencing UFO incidents. And it reads a lot like Mothman Prophecies, that Richard Gere movie, where you have like an investigator go to a town, and then like weird stuff keeps like continually happening to him. You know, not much to say beyond that. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, then nothing else I can say really will. But great
nothing
book.
else will.
I mean, it's true. Like, if you don't want to read a UFO story about a Truman Capote investigating UFOs, then you don't want to read this book. But
I always say add more Capote. I think Marvel and DC should add more Truman Capote.
You know what? I agree with that. And then the last book I read was Deluge by Cullen Bunn. This has nothing to do with aliens, but it does have everything to do with the great state of Missouri that we currently live in.
God bless the state of Missouri.
This revolves around a women's penitentiary during the 1993 flooding.
Hot.
That flooded my parents' neighborhood back in 1993.
Oh.
We weren't living there, but everything around my parents' house was completely underwater. So this story is about a women's penitentiary who is slowly flooding, and towards the end of the book, you realize that they're being attacked by giant sea serpents that are coming up from the waters. So just when I thought that Cullen Bunn was going to be writing like a prison survival story, he says, no, I'm still Cullen Bunn. And he throws in some monsters.
Let's get some H.P. Lovecraft in this bitch.
And God bless him for it, truly. He's doing just the Lord's work.
Here's how it goes. It's God bless Cullen Bunn, God bless the state of Missouri, and God bless women's penitentiaries.
Yes, all three of those. It's a really fun book. It's out on Ignition Press. And one thing I did want to say, because I just found this out. So every Ignition Press book has a 4-digit code on the back cover.
Oh.
And I investigated what this 4-digit code is, because my assumption was that it was going to be something like Marvel's digital codes, right? You go to their website, you enter your code, you get a digital copy of the book, right?
Yeah.
Nay.
Uh-oh.
What I discovered was each one of their books has a unique code printed on it. So every book from Ignition Press is technically a 1 of 1.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
So what's the code for?
The code is your unique, think of it as a serial number for your book.
There are many unique codes, but this one is mine, and this one is special.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, that is true. You have a valuable piece of media.
You got a 1 of 1.
If you know someone that loves the number 4,721.
True. Very true. I just thought that was cool.
That is very cool.
I wanted to make sure.
Kind of a weird detail.
It is a weird detail, and I'm wondering what they're going to do with that. Are they going to introduce a tracking? Well, it could be a MacGuffin. Are they going to introduce a tracking system? Are they going to introduce
oh, great! Now I'm being tracked.
Well, like a raffle. Right? You go on their website.
I was thinking there's some kind of raffle thing to this.
Something. Are they going to, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but Ignition Press they are hot coming out of the gate. They did Murder Podcast, Voyeur, Mike D covered that. They have Deluge. They got a bunch of really cool books coming out. So
yeah, they're hitting it hard at NYCC right now. So I'm very excited for those guys up there.
Yeah. They're very, very cool publisher. And Deluge is just another one of the cool books coming out on Ignition. So, and then the last book I read was Transformers 25.
The new jumping in point for readers, right?
Yes. They set it up. I guess they're in issue 24. There was some big battle. Megatron is recovering from it. Optimus Prime is recovering from it. Sort of resets you into who these characters are and what their motivations are. Megatron is bad. The Decepticons are bad. Optimus Prime is good. But the inciting incident in this story is that Optimus Prime is able to capture Soundwave, the guy with the cassette player in his chest. And on top of that, he's introduced to some major general that I think we're supposed to know from G.I. Joe. I did not know who it was. And then the other big, I guess, spoiler is that Optimus Prime finds 2 Decepticons that the U.S. government has had sort of in cold storage since the 30s. They found them and have been trying to turn them on and can't. So Optimus Prime has 2 more allies in the battle. So
do we know who the Decepticons are?
Yeah, we know who they are. I can't remember their names because they're all sound guy and
bric-a-brac.
Bric-a-brac. Yeah, exactly. But no, this I'm trying to read this book with a grain of salt because I'm 23 issues behind on reading it. Right,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read this in forever. So to jump in 25 issues later and be like, I was confused about what was going on, it's like super unfair, right? But as a jumping on point, I think this is kind of all you can ask for. Is it resets all these characters, it introduces you to who they are, the good robots versus the bad robots, and gives you those little seed sprinklings about what they're going to do moving forward. So I'll say, I think if you have an interest in Transformers, this is as good a jumping on point as you're going to get.
Okay.
If somebody has said Transformers is really good, but you're not into like giant fighting robots, maybe
definitely skip this one.
Yeah, go back and read from issue 1, because this is not the place for you to start trying Transformers.
Yeah. It's mostly robots in fisticuffs.
I mean, yeah, for sure. So that's what I got. Those are my books. They're all good. You should buy all of them. How about that?
It's a good week for comic books. I will say the Age of Revolution stuff started with the X-Men this week too. So if you're a big X-head, you're eating good in the neighborhood. Mike D isn't here, and he's typically the one that covers all our X-Men stuff. So he'll probably dip in next week to talk about the X-Men stuff that we missed. If you haven't seen already, over on our Patreon, we made a new pin for all of our patron members. And if you sign on now for the $3.99 tier, we will mail you one as a thank you. All of our current $3.99 members will be getting a pin in the mail here soon. So it's a great time to go to patreon.com/firstissue club. Go check out our Patreon. We have a free tier. We have a $1 tier. But the $3.99 tier is the sweet tier where you get the pin. Also, don't forget, we mentioned earlier in the episode, TowerCon is coming the second weekend of November. Almost said March. It's not March. It's November. We'll remind you again. We don't want you to miss it because we're going to be there recording a live episode. We will probably be talking about Godzilla destroying Kansas City because that book has just come out by the time TowerCon has started. We are on all the social media stuff. We're over on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. We are edited and produced by the voices you hear right now. We are sponsored by Boulevard Brewing Company. Am I leaving anything out, Andy?
We love you.
That's true. We do love you. And we hope you have a great week. And stay tuned for an episode that we have coming up where we talk about the rest of NYCC. Until then, remember to bag and board 'em.
Bye.